As a Shedeur Sanders fan, we just got some insane news from some former NFL players who are hearing things around the building. And I mean, before we get into the video, I just want to show you this clip, and then I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below about it.
I don't know how this is a fair comment, because I was told from somebody that's in the building that ain't a player. It's really coming down to Kenny Pickett or Dillon Gabriel. That's what I was told. I don't.
Now, in my opinion, I hate it because I feel like maybe I'm wrong about Shedeur Sanders. Maybe he's not as good as I think, and I'm open to that. I'm someone that will call it how it is, right? I'll admit when I'm wrong. But at this point in time, I just don't think that Shedeur Sanders is getting outplayed by Kenny Pickett and or Dillon Gabriel at practices so far. From what they show us, and I know I say this every single time, but from what they've shown us, I've seen some pretty elite accuracy. And yes, you can make the argument that he's not going up against the first team defense. I get it. That's an argument. That's a fair argument. And why aren't we seeing that? I don't know. Yes, they spent a higher round pick on Dillon Gabriel. Yes, Kenny Pickett is a veteran who took the last knee in a Super Bowl championship game. But can we fairly say right now that anyone's leading? I don't really think so. I think we need to see those pads come on. I think we need to see how these quarterbacks react in preseason football games. And I don't want to make a judgment right now. I feel like I have been making some judgments early on saying that Sanders is clear-cut the best quarterback in this room right now, at least from what we've seen, what they've showed us. But we need to see it in games. We need to see it with the pads on. We need to see it in, training camp when they're going head-to-head with another team, right? Those joint practices. Who's going to shine during those practices, right? And we're still obviously a far way from that. But this news that is coming out, I feel like is just unfair. Any news right now that's coming out is just unfair. At least in my opinion. What do you guys think in the comments down below? Here's another little clip from this Shedeur Sanders saga, right? Let's listen to this one.
I think Kenny Pickett starts week 1 right now. I do. Aaron, we're at the window. I don't know what the odds would be. Let's set the odds right now. I'll make Shedeur right now 25-1.
Oh, more. I'd say 50-1.
All right, 50-1. Okay. I'm going to make Pickett the favorite at 3-1. I'm going to say Flacco's 5-1, and I'll put Dillon Gabriel at 10-1.
I like those odds.
Now again, they're predicting Kenny Pickett is the day 1 starter for this football team, which he's the veteran. It makes sense. You don't want to throw rookies into the fire right away. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders should be the day 1 starter. I'm saying he looked the best throughout camp from what they are showing us, right? Now, the media shows us a lot of Shedeur Sanders. They don't show a lot. They don't film a lot of the Kenny Pickett reps just because Shedeur Sanders in the media is massive, right? Everyone wants to see what Shedeur is doing. So we haven't seen the full story, but from what I've seen of Shedeur Sanders, he looked good. Now, they ranked him as the least favorite to be a starter on week 1. And again, that's okay. I think Dillon Gabriel should be very similar. I think they should both be way down there in terms of odds to be the starter. I think it's going to be Joe or I think it's going to be Kenny. But after that, it's very important, right? Whoever the QB2 is going to be very, very crucial. They're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks on this roster. Hell, they might not even keep 3. I think they will, ultimately, with this team. And I do think Shedeur Sanders will be one of the 3. If he's not, I think someone's getting a steal of a player. I really do. Now, you could talk about all the downsides to what we've seen over the past couple of weeks, including the speeding ticket, right? That all goes down, and another speeding ticket the week before, and everyone's like, oh, the ego's coming back out. He thinks he's untouchable and whatnot. People make mistakes. I'm not going to hold that over him too much. Listen to RG3 and what he had to say about this speeding ticket.
We've all been guilty of speeding. And for the Shedeur Sanders fans out there, he got caught speeding recently, going 101 in a 60. And some people have tried to vilify him for that. But when he got pulled over, he handled it with class, and he took responsibility for his actions. What do you think that says about SHEDEUR's character, that he was able to realize his mistake and move past it?
Oh, he's great pedigree. You know, he's the son of an NFL Hall of Famer. So he's a great example of, you know, a kid taking the opportunity that's in front of him and running with it. But don't go 100 miles an hour. That would be my advice.
Right.
The Raiders had a player, his last name is Rugg.
Correct.
And he was going over 100 miles an hour. He killed a lady, and it ended his football career. So nothing good happens at 100 miles an hour. So you want to tell him to tone it down? Go 80, man. Go 85. But don't go 100.
But I truly want to hear from you guys. What do you think about SHEDEUR Sanders? What do you think about the current battle right now? Who's QB1? Who's QB2? Who's QB3? And do you think there's a possibility they move on from SHEDEUR Sanders and maybe he goes to Dallas, or maybe he goes to Las Vegas, or maybe he goes to the Saints and maybe wins that job, right? What do you think happens with SHEDEUR Sanders going forward? And what do you think about the speeding ticket? I know there's a lot of people that are like, okay, now that he did that, I'm done. We're not going to deal with this stuff. We're not going to deal with the immaturity, right? And that is fair. I respect a lot of opinions out there. So let me know what your guys' opinion is down low. But also do me a big time favor. Hit the like button if you want more SHEDEUR Sanders updates throughout the entirety of the offseason, which includes all of training camp. Guys, we're going to break down every single practice. We're going to be looking at the film from practice and breaking it down every single day throughout training camp. And then once preseason football is here, I'm going to be so annoyed if they don't play him in the preseason. Right now, he's not going up against the ones. Could I see them barely playing him? Yeah, I think they might barely play him in the preseason, and I would be really upset. I hope it's just Dillon Gabriel, a little bit of Kenny Pickett, maybe one drive of Kenny Pickett, then boom, a quarter of Dillon Gabriel, 2 quarters of SHEDEUR Sanders. I think that's the way to go. And then obviously, once the regular season's here, guys, we're going to be breaking down a lot of games for either SHEDEUR if he's a starter or just the Browns. So if you're a fan of the Browns, let me know in the comments. We got you guys covered with a ton of film analysis. And make sure you guys join the family. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And this QB battle is going to be one for the ages right here, man. Dillon Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, SHEDEUR Sanders. Let me know who you guys think could win this battle. Now, obviously, the kids love him. Everyone loves SHEDEUR Sanders. There's some people that are really high critics of him and who he is as a person. But overall, I think SHEDEUR Sanders will be a good football player in the NFL. I think he has the work ethic, and I think if he takes it serious, I think he will be a starting quarterback in the NFL within the next 2 years. Maybe even next year, maybe even this year. But I'm going to end the video here, get some new news on, he's definitely not, people saying he's definitely not going to be the starter. The odds are really low. TJ Houshmandzadeh and Darren Waller talking about, yeah, it's between Kenny Pickett or Dillon Gabriel at this point in time, which I think is unfair. It's way too early. We haven't even seen these guys with pads on. To say Dillon Gabriel's in the running right now, from what I've seen, there's been a lot of balls swatted down at the line of scrimmage. He can barely see over the line at times. I don't know how people can say Dillon Gabriel is even close to the lead for the quarterback. I would be okay if you said Kenny Pickett. That makes sense. Or Joe Flacco. That makes sense. But Dillon Gabriel, I don't see it right now. Yeah, they spent a 3rd round pick on him. I don't see them starting him right away. I don't. And then the speeding ticket. What do you guys think about that all? And obviously a fan favorite here. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.